Good afternoon, Ignite Nation, and welcome to Ignite the Flame podcast. Today, we have a special one. We're interviewing Kyla and Anthony Griffitt. And when I tell you I'm excited, that is an understatement. So let's start out with welcoming our guests, Kyla and Anthony. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, first of all, thank you. And thank you for making this part of your schedule. You know, Kyla, every great leader has an origin story.
Yeah.
And before you started leading teams and inspiring others, there was a moment when you decided, this is where I belong. So take us back to, how did you get started in healthcare?
A little bit of a lengthy story, but we'll go through it quickly.
Okay.
It started back when I was a junior in high school. I went to a vocational school for CNA. And as soon as I graduated from high school, I decided to go ahead and go to a local skilled nursing facility. I worked as a CNA for a few years. I then was asked to become the restorative aide, did that for a couple years. And then the therapy department really wanted me to become the rehab tech. So I became their rehab tech, did that for a few years. And I was like, why not go to school and become a physical therapist assistant? So I did that. Graduated in 2012, became a PTA, and then got promoted to a director of rehab in 2018. And then in the middle of 2018, I applied for Ignite, director of rehab for Blue Springs, and I got the job. And then from there, I became the administrator.
Wow. Well, that is an interesting journey. So when you think back over those early days, what are some lessons that are still guiding you today?
Never give up. You may have a bad day here and there, but you can't give up. You have to keep going. Go to those that you trust to lead you in the correct direction and hold them dear. And you just keep going, and you have to have a good support system.
Wow, that's awesome feedback. Well, I have to take this opportunity to say that I'm a CNA as well. And as part of the AIT program, I became a CNA, and that's something that I'm extremely, extremely proud of. So your story doesn't start there, which you just alluded to. You ended up becoming a GM and as well as a partner. And that's just tremendous. That's no small feat. So with that, what was the journey like for you becoming a partner and a general manager?
Well, the journey was not my original idea. I was asked to step into my office by Tim and Jared, and obviously nervous when you have those two gentlemen asking you to step in your office. But it was all in a good outcome, essentially. They asked me if I wanted to become the general manager of Blue Springs, as they had decided to promote our current general manager. And I thought on it I was shocked. First of all, I was beyond shocked. I had never seen my career path going down that road. And I went ahead and told them I would need a couple days, and they liked that response. So I went home, I spoke to Anthony, and he didn't need a second. He said, absolutely. And I was like, whoa. Let's think about this. So he's always been my number one cheerleader, and he's always had faith in me, and knowing that I can just go on to the next project and next step and keep pushing myself and being behind me all the way. So I essentially decided to accept. And we have a great team, and majority of our team is still the same team. So it was a very easy transition for Blue Springs. And I think that that's what they really needed. They needed someone that they knew to step into that role. And we've been extremely successful.
I know you all have. And I tell you what, it's a powerful statement regarding the culture here at Ignite. It's a powerful statement regarding the culture at your community, where we're always developing our next leader up.
Yes.
Ignite Nation, I want you all to use Kyla as an example. She started out as a CNA and was able to continue growing and continue developing. Then one day she came home and asked her husband what she should do, if she should accept it. And he immediately said yes. Oh. Anthony, any regrets?
I am 100%, just like she said. I am always, just wanting to further see her further herself in her career. Just lean into it,
Mm,
just trust in herself. I know what her abilities and capabilities are in that. Don't sell yourself short. Always strive for the next biggest thing.
mm,
Obviously, I knew the team around her
Yeah.
would support her. She had the support from leadership. Obviously, they had
Mhm.
faith in her in that way, coming to her and asking her to look at stepping into this role.
mhm.
They had the faith to even start that conversation, right? So she had the support from that side, and then of course she has support at home, right? So whatever hours that takes to help develop or help her learn in the new capacity that she's going to have to undertake, and the additional certifications and
Mhm.
schooling and things that she's going to have to do, we were here for her. So
That is awesome, man. As we watch Kyla, look at you with adoration. Like, that is my husband supporting me. Let me tell you, for all of you, Ignite Nation, let's make sure that we thank our spouses. As a former executive director of a skilled nursing community with 166 beds, whenever we have a natural disaster or anything in the world, don't we think about what are those leaders doing in that part of the country?
mhm.
Mhm.
Many people don't understand jobs like ours where your building or resort is equally as important as your home. People outside the industry don't understand that. Of course, we know the family is first, but they're both equally important. And so, Ignite Nation, this is our opportunity to thank Anthony on behalf of all of those that support our professionals within Ignite Nation. Anthony, thank you. And
Yeah,
please continue to support. We all need you.
Yes.
absolutely.
So let's talk about that home turf. All right. Blue Springs, every Ignite resort has its own heartbeat. What
Yeah.
makes your community so special?
In our own market, we have quite a few buildings here in the Kansas City area.
Mhm.
So we, first of all buildings have relationship with one another. Every manager. So like myself, I have good relationship with all the other GMs. Um, so on and so forth for all my management team. They have their the group where they can kind of rely and bounce some ideas off of them. Well, we also have that within our own facility. Um, you know, Obviously an open door policy, every employee has that ability to come in and, run things by me. Sometimes
Mhm.
they rely on their counterparts, whether they have someone in the position with them. Sometimes they'll go to another department head. Hey, what do you think about this? Or hey, can you go down and talk to so and so with me, just for another person? And that's just what we're really good at. We are a team. We don't single anybody out. We always make sure that if you need something, that we're going to step up. If you're out for the day or on vacation, I know for a fact that someone else is going to step into that role for that individual to make sure that it is seamless and that there isn't a gap whenever they return and they're not having to come back to a mound of work.
Mm.
So if it's not myself, it is definitely another employee that is stepping up to kind of fill those, bridge that gap a little bit.
So when guests walk in the door, what do you hope they feel?
We hope that they feel at home. We hope that they feel a sense of belonging and comfort. They're typically there just for a short period of time. We
Mhm.
all know that they've spent however long in the hospital. They're dealing with their own ailments, but there's no place like home.
Mm.
So since they're not ready to be at their actual home just yet, let's let them have a quality visit. Let's get them the medical care that they need, the physical, occupational, and speech therapy needs that they have. Let's get that done so they can go home and stay home.
Mm. Go home and stay home.
Mhm.
At Ignite, we talk about recognition and accountability, and that sweet spot being the Ignite way. And as I listen to you, I'm thinking about how we want our guests to feel at home. And
Absolutely.
that's one of the reasons why I love being a part of Ignite Medical Resorts. And that is, I know that the short term rehab experience is going to be outstanding. And I know that people are going to feel as though they are getting better
Mhm.
and their heart is going to feel like they're closer to home.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Anthony, you've kind of become a legend at Ignite Nation as our number one fan on social
Yeah.
media, and
Yeah.
we love it. So, where does that energy and pride come from?
It started out, just trying to understand. I seen, Kyla coming home with joy after her long days whenever she first started. I had gone and taken some time out of my day at work and go up there and have lunch with her. Just try to get an understanding of what is Ignite about, what's she working or where's she working, and kind of who she's working with, and the guests that she interacts with. She comes home and she talks about all the joy that they have there, and I'm like, I want to see a little slice of this heaven, right? Like, I want to get an understanding of where this is coming from, and of course, Ignite has afforded us, a lot of great opportunities, and just the outsider looking in. So I leaned into it. I decided I was going to lean into it further, and just, the things that Jim White does with fanning the flame, and passing along that recognition for all the employees that just go above and beyond every day, to the surprising delights that they give their guests, and that's the thing, Kyla mentioned, of feeling like you're at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting literally, I'm almost getting chills right now to give you this response, because it's like, I'm proud of where she works. I'm proud of where all of you guys that work for Ignite work. And I'm, and that day in and day out, just pride that I don't work there, but I feel like I know, I advocate, I will always advocate for Ignite, because I have never seen, she's worked in many different capacities at many different companies before Ignite, and I've never seen the level of care and compassion
Mm.
for not only their guests, their employees' families, the things that they do. And it's like, I don't know, I really do get joy out of keeping up with all the different facilities. There's, what, 28 facilities now, locations that you guys have, and watching them grow. I've been to a couple of the grand openings, or the grand reopenings, if you will, here in Kansas City. Just been afforded the opportunity to go to those and be a part of those. Had great conversations with many different people, Jim White, Matt Thingle, people, of status, right? This, like, but they're humble, good human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on this call with you today, like, great people, just down to earth. And that's where Ignite is, from, right? I mean,
Yes.
from Barry to Tim to, all of them. It's just a great community, great company, great foundation. So that's where it comes from.
Awesome. And that is a thorough answer. Ignite Nation, we have professionals at various points of their career. We may have had someone who just joined Ignite Medical Resource this week. What I want you to pay attention to are the words that were just expressed about this great organization. I, too, have been in the industry for a while. And when we have seen other communities, we've seen other organizations, and it's first class here. Now, we know that no place is perfect. But when you're pursuing excellence and you're pursuing it at the highest level, isn't that what we should strive for when it comes to serving those in need? We should never lower our standards. So, great answer. And sometimes we need a reminder. I want to give you another reminder. You said that Kyla would come home filled with joy. Ignite Nation, I heard someone say that joy means peace beyond circumstance. So now that we're near the end, Kyla, it's time that I find out about this cicada story. For those who haven't heard it, could you share what happened?
Oh, I blame, well, first of all, myself. I'm the problem. I just want, for the record, I am a boy mom and a tomboy, homegrown tomboy. Um, I just, there's been, back in my youth, we used to have a lake house, and there was a local restaurant that would do, as some people from Kansas City may know, shoot the minnow. So for adults, little shot glass, throw it back with drink of choice. Obviously for
Oh.
children, little soda. So that's kind of where it started. And then went on a lake trip with some great friends who happened to also be Ignite employees, and I pulled the trick out of my hat and I did it there, more minnows. Then it kind of evolved where we were at a grand opening at one of our buildings, and Shauna Rainey, yes, Shauna Rainey called me out, and
What?
she told someone, "Oh, hey, give it to that girl over there. She'll eat it." So I guess a cicada had flew by, and they challenged me. At first, I was playing coy. I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And then Tim comes up with $100 bill.
I get it.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, obviously all the phones were out, everybody was recording. And one of my good friends, she had sent it to my husband, and his response was, "Who paid the hundo?"
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no shock. He wasn't
No.
surprised. He knows I can, like to hang out with the boys and
Clown around.
clown around,
Have a good time.
have a good time. Good, clean fun.
Yeah.
Good, clean fun. And so, Kyla and Anthony, as we get ready to, oh, hold on a second. Kyla and Anthony, it looks like we have a guest that has joined us.
There he is.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I am good. I'm glad we
Good.
finally got you onto the podcast, Anthony.
Yeah.
Number one fan.
That's right.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there when Jim gave you your official trophy, so I wanted to make sure I
Oh.
showed up for the podcast.
Hey, I appreciate the recognition, Tim. For real, I do.
Awesome. Well, you make our team members' lives, the hard work they do, you bring a little joy to them. So I always smile when I see it because I know they love hearing it. And when I go to the buildings and I hear it,
Mhm.
just someone giving thanks and appreciation, it goes a long way. So thank you.
I mean, they work hard at it, right? I mean, there's a ton of posts every day. There's a ton of recognition every day, and it's across, all the facilities, all locations. And so it's just, I can't be. I was telling Gerald here, it was like I can't be more proud of what Ignite stands for.
I just wanted to stop and say hi. You're also married to an amazing general manager. So I'm
Yeah,
glad we got Kyla on the podcast here to talk about all the wonderful things she's doing at Blue Springs. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, Kyla, Tim just mentioned your great community. Why don't you share a little bit more about Blue Springs?
Well, I can't do what I do without my amazing team. I know that whenever I come in every day, I can rely on them to do their job and do it well as step in and help everybody else. I have full confidence that when we are out and about talking to patients, talking to families, that we are providing them with the best service. And we are doing our best to get them back home. But ultimately, our building is successful because of the team that I have.
If we had to have our final comments for Ignite Nation, Anthony, would you like to give final comments?
I would absolutely like the opportunity here, and I thank you for that. My comments again are just from the position that I sit. Obviously, helping, seeing Kyla grow and thrive in her capacity and the team that she's got around her, as she's already mentioned. But then take that a step further again from my perspective of the joy and the recognition that the team receives from the management, upper management, each and every day, recognizing their hard work, and then all the way through at the guest level experience, from what, like I said, I mentioned earlier, just the compassion, the warmth that they receive from the different area, staff members that are there to take care of them during their stay, just to make it feel more like home. No other place is compared to the level of care and compassion that Ignite get from their guests all the way up through their team.
Thank you. And Kyla?
I would love to thank all of, ITP, Tim, Barry, Jared, Matt Thingle, all of them, Dylan, for giving me the opportunity, for believing in me. I will say that it's been a wild ride, and I look forward to many, many more years of this wild ride.
Awesome. Awesome. And Tim, we don't have you on the closing session too often. Would you like any closing comments?
First off, I need a microphone in front of me like you have. That just makes me more official if I had that, right? I mean, that's just, we got to give it up. Jerald, you always do the best podcast. So thank you for continuing to fan the flame on our culture, continuing to showcase some amazing people who are doing amazing things out there. I say this all the time, that the model that Ignite runs is very difficult already in a difficult industry. And to do that, we're doing some things that most people in the country can't do. And so that's amazing. And so Kyla's building does that, and she should be very proud of her and Team Blue Springs. I look forward to coming down and celebrating with them soon. And Anthony, thank you for appreciating and showing recognition to all of our awesome team members every day on social media. So thank you guys for making time for the podcast.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this one with Ignite Nation. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, the sweet spot between accountability and recognition is the Ignite way. And as my mama used to say, there's nothing worthwhile that's easy, young man. So keep going for it. Have a great day. And thanks again for joining us, Anthony and Kyla and Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.